Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to take this time to do this little quick impromptu video because we're nearing the end of the summer. School's about to be back in session, and if I'm looking a little tired and out of breath and all that, then just know it is because I am also in the process of making and recording my new updated Halloween movie ranking, which I plan to have out by at least the beginning of October. But I wanted to take the time to do this video also because it's something I at least try to do every year when we reach this last quarter of the year to take time to count down the things that I am looking forward to for the remainder of the year. And it's always a common thing that things that I've had listed from the very beginning of the year are still going to be coming out. So some things will still be on this list as they were in the beginning of the year. But also, it's admittedly because the two things that I was looking forward to most for the whole year, Terrifier 4 and Ahsoka Season 2, have been pushed to next year, so they won't be coming out until then. So that's more of a reason to for me to want to do this updated video. So this is like no flashy editing, just something quick and brief and all that. So here's what I'm excited for most for the remainder of 2026. Starting off with some honorable mentions, we got Vision Quest. We just got the trailer for that. I ain't gonna lie, as someone who liked WandaVision, I actually just recently watched the Agatha show. Didn't like that. So my expectations for this are honestly 50-50. Like on the one hand, it's weird looking and it looks a little intriguing. So I'm open to that. But the fact that it's following off of two things where, again, I liked WandaVision but didn't like Agatha, so it could go either way. I'm hoping it goes the other way, so there's that. The next thing, my other honorable mention, Survivor 51. Which, if you know me, you've been following my channel for years. I'm a big Survivor fan. This is usually, and like, in my list, like right up there as something I'm always looking forward to at the end of the year when they do their fall season. But I ain't gonna lie, like, especially if you saw the review I just did for Survivor 50, I've been pretty disappointed with Survivor lately, so it's kind of dampened my expectations there, but don't get me wrong, I still have a excitement for it. I'm gonna watch it. I have to take something really, really, really bad, like worst of Big Brother type bad, to get me off of Survivor, man, and steer me away from that. So, frustrations aside, it's still more Survivor, so I have that base level excitement for it. But now on to my actual list. Number 12, Dune Part 3. I'm not going to act like I'm someone who's deeply versed in the book and all the lore and all that, so I only know the movies. And I really enjoy the movies. I loved Dune Part 2. It had a really good moral conflict for Paul's character. And I've heard that this is a shorter book, so that means that it's that with what they're adapting off of, so it's going to be a shorter runtime. So I'm a little worried about that, and plus I've heard that this specific book they're adapting isn't the best, but I don't know. I'm still, because I love the first two films, so I'm still hoping they'll be able to pull this off somehow. Number 11, Ebenezer. This is going to be Ty West's newest movie, starring Johnny Depp as Ebenezer Scrooge. Now, I'm a big Johnny Depp fan. I'm not even going to go into you know what, but I'm a big fan of Johnny Depp as an actor, so I'm really excited for it. Now, you could say that there's like, oh, how many Christmas Carol adaptations do we need? But I don't know, man. I mean, as much of a Christmas Carol fan as I am, this is more so just first time seeing Johnny Depp in a movie in a while on the big screen, so that's what I'm excited for. And there's even some excitement for Ty West in there. He used to be a director I made fun of a lot. But then he had his X trilogy with X, Pearl, and then Maxine. All fantastic movies. Just really redeemed himself. So I'm hoping that just as a director, that he's finally found his footing and just making good movies now finally. Period. Finally. So I'm really excited for that. Number 10, Zach Kreger's Resident Evil. Again, just like with the Dune lore, I'm not gonna act like someone who's deeply versed in the Resident Evil lore. I mean, I know some of the basic stuff. I've liked some of the movies. I liked the first three of the original films, and I did like, what was it called? The Welcome to Raccoon City from a few years ago. I thought that was pretty good. So I admittedly had lesser expectations for this when they were initially announcing things, but then Zach Cregger did clear things up and saying that it is going to be within the universe, somewhere within the second game, just doing its own thing, separate from the main story. So I'm like, okay, that's something different. And the trailers as is, they look creepy, they look fun, so I'm excited for it, just as a movie, if anything. Alright, number 9. Mike Flanagan's Carrie TV series. I'm a big Stephen King fan. Carrie isn't one of my absolute favorites, but I have been finding myself watching both movies more and more every Halloween, especially the remake they did back in the 2010s that had what's her name in it? I'm blanking on her name, but you know which one I'm talking about. I thought that one was really good. And I am excited for this, something more modernized, bringing the idea of cyberbullying into it. I think that's a really clever idea, especially since bullying is a huge theme of the Carrie story, so I think there's a lot that you could really do with that. The cast looks great, and more Matthew Lillard. That's all I need. Fuck yeah. So, that's that. Alright, next up. This is going to be a smaller film. It's our next spider creature feature film. It's going to be called Crawlers. It's been getting a lot of accusations, especially with the trailer just now coming out, of being an Americanized remake, even ripoff of that French film Infested that came out a couple years ago. Now I loved Infested. That was like my favorite horror film of that year. But I don't know. I mean, so what? It's just in an apartment again. So what? It looks different enough. It looks gnarly and all that. I'm down for it. Something I found interesting in the trailer, actually, especially if y'all have watched the trailer, let me know if you noticed this too, is that they didn't you go into what kind of spiders these are that are infesting this building. So I like that a little vagueness. It could go either way, like just make up some species of just generic aggressive venomous spider, or maybe it'll end up being some real species. I'm excited for it. It's ironic. I'm like one of the biggest arachnophobes out there, yet somehow I can take big spider pictures. So fun. All right, number 7, Werewolf. This is going to be Robert Eggers' newest film, coming hot off of the success of his Nosferatu adaptation that he did last year, I think it was, a couple years ago. Loved that movie. He's had nothing but great movies. But yeah, I'm not even gonna act like I'm like a werewolf fanatic. But of course, like everyone else, I agree. We've been short on truly great werewolf movies. And I ain't gonna lie, like everything I'm hearing about this with the practical effects they're saying they're going for, the tone, which feels very Nosferatu-esque, but in its own way, so I'm cool with that. And then we got the trailer. So I am really excited for this. Again, I'm not gonna act like I'm a werewolf fanatic. That is like one of my favorite subgenres, but it is a genre I like, and hopefully this will be the start of a resurgence for great, great werewolf movies again. Like since pretty much the 1980s was like the peak. All right, number 6, Violent Night 2. Bring in the Christmas Dies Tonight memes. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I loved the first film. I thought that it was a really cool idea, like mix of Home Alone and a bunch of other movies with Santa Claus kicking ass. I thought it was great. And this one, Santa being on the naughty list and all that because he kills and all that, I I'm yeah, I'm sold. And depending on how good it actually ends up being, I may end up liking it more than the first film. That's the vibe that I get off of this trailer. So there's that. Number 5, Amazing Race 39. Now, like I said before, Survivor. I'm not just a big Survivor fan. Just in general, I'm a big reality competition show fanatic. So with Amazing Race, I've been finding myself a bigger fan of Amazing Race over the past few years. I mean, I've always liked Amazing Race. That and Survivor were like the ones to me, but especially with how frustrating Survivor's been lately, I'm not gonna lie, I've been finding myself gravitating more towards Amazing Race lately, and they've been gone like what, over a year now, so it's gonna be so good to see this show again. It's just relentlessly entertaining. Alright, number 4, Dugout Dads. Now, to those who don't know, this is going to be a show on YouTube that is going to reunite all of the cast from The Sandlot. And there's conflicting information on whether this is going to be a sequel series to Sandlot, or if it's just going to be its own thing with those actors. Then we got the trailer. It confirmed it's just going to be its own thing. But nevertheless, I'm excited, because one of the things that I loved about Sandlot was the chemistry between all those kids and all that, and how they acted and all that. It was just, it felt real. The history between these kids as friends just felt so lived in. And plus, I actually got to meet some of these actors at a fan event I attended a few hours from here, where it was like this anniversary celebration event of the original film. They screened it for like a huge crowd of us that attended. Then we got to meet the actors afterward, got to have a quick chat with them. They signed a couple items for us. Like I got my Blu-ray copy signed, and I got like a baseball signed. It was so fun. Like I love these actors and all. So to get to see them all together again as adults and all that, to recapture the chemistry they had just in general in the original Sandlot. Don't get me wrong, like my initial excitement for this was on the hope that, oh, it was going to be like a sequel. We're going to see these characters again also. But it's still seeing these actors again in a new project and all that, interacting together again. So I am still excited nonetheless. Alright, number 3. Coyote versus Acme. This one has been such a long time coming, because for the longest time, this movie wasn't even going to come out. And I'll even boldly say this now, after the friggin' WB and all their infinite wisdom shelved the movie, I was actually rooting for the movie to be leaked and all that, just so the movie could get out there, because I'm such a staunch believer in that. Because if you make a movie, I don't care how much financial trouble you're in. Like, I understand it's not that easy. There's complexities. But if you make a movie, damn it, movies are made to be seen. So glad that this outside company bought this film, and we're finally going to get to see it. This is the same company, Ketchup Entertainment, that gave us Looney Tunes The Day the Earth Blew Up, which was also fucking amazing. And this will be the third Looney Tunes film that uses the live-action animation hybrid with real human actors, but juxtaposition with the Looney Tune animated characters. And I've loved both of the other ones we've gotten, like Space Jam. I unashamedly love. There's just a lot of nostalgia to that, and it's got a good vibe to it. I like it. And Looney Tunes Back in Action might be my favorite Looney Tunes thing, period. Shows, movies, whatever it be, I love Back in Action. So I've been excited for for another Looney Tunes movie that properly utilizes that. Fuck you, freaking Space Jam 2. That doesn't count. It doesn't exist. So I'm so excited that we're getting another Looney Tunes film like this. It's gonna scratch the itch. Alright. Number 2. DC's Clayface. This is going to be the latest installment of DC's newest cinematic universe, and it's going to be a body horror film. There's been a lot of criticism with this DC universe lately that they can't pick a tone. There'll be lighthearted stuff like with Superman, juxtaposition to something dark and serious like this, but hey, so long as it's good, whatever the tone is, that's just all I want. I just want good DC content, and I have a lot of hope for this. Hell, it's probably the only horror film, period, that we're gonna get for October, when it's prime time for this horror shit. Man, I just gotta say, man, these, quick side rant, is it just me, or has, these past few years sucked for October? We've had a lot of horror films this year, period, but as far as October, when it's prime time for this shit, they've been light on horror releases. I just had to get that. I just had to get that out of my system. It's kind of really bugged me. But regardless, I am excited for this. Like, it's kind of utilized what I'd hoped that the DC's previous universe would have done when they did Joker. Like in all the right ways. Like, take this idea, these standalone ideas, and do these villain characters. Like, I really think you could do something like a political tragedy drama for something like Harvey Dent and all that. Things like that. So that looks like what we're getting for Clayface. So I'm hyped. I'm really hyped. And it was almost my most anticipated film for the rest of the year. But then we got number one. I ain't gonna lie, because especially if you saw my original list I did at the beginning of the year and all that, you saw how skeptical I was, wanting to be hopeful but skeptical. But I ain't gonna lie, my number one, I am getting really, really excited for Avengers Doomsday. And don't get me wrong, like, is there still a possibility that this movie could just shit the bed? Of course, and all that, because as y'all know, this was not the original plan. They were going to follow up on the Kang character from Ant-Man 3. He was going to be the next big villain. But if you know, you know, shit happened. But a lot of things, like the trailers we've gotten have been really, really good. And plus it's the fact that they've confirmed, or that they've affirmed, well, not affirmed, but like quelled a lot of the fears that I've had about this project. It's pretty much confirmed that it's not going to be evil Tony Stark, despite Robert Downey Jr. playing the role. That's something I was so worried about. Like, after all these years, after all the times they've messed up the character, like, just give us Victor Von Doom, Doctor Doom, done right. And it looks like we're finally getting that. So, they have faith in the project. So, while I'm still holding some reservations, I ain't gonna lie. I've been finding myself getting more and more excited for this in like these past several months. So let me know what you guys think about all my picks. Are there any of these that you're excited for? Are there any ones that I didn't mention that you guys are excited for? Comment down below. Let me know. And if you're finding my channel for the first time and you're liking what you're seeing, then like and subscribe if you want to see more.